Well, we're in the losers bracket. The playoffs continue. They are finally here with Meta Madness. Blackheart's Bay is our opening map for this best of 5. There was a bit of a change of plans. If you remember, I told you actually earlier that in the first round of the winner in the losers bracket, we would have best of 3 matches. Now, there was a slight change, and today, initially, what we had on the program was 2 losers bracket matches that were supposed to be best of 3s, and then 2 matches in the next round of the losers bracket best of 5. But unfortunately, one of the teams couldn't field enough players, so they're out of the tournament and they had to just simply forfeit their match. And this is why now in our first round of the losers bracket, the Cats and the Dogs have agreed that they will upgrade their match to a best of 5 series. So we're missing out on 1 match, but we have 1 best of 5 more. So, a lot of cool stuff that can happen here. Now, as already promised, in the playoffs now, we have tons of heroes banned. 22 heroes are completely banned from the tournament now, from the playoffs. They cannot be picked whatsoever. And every single hero that gets played within a series cannot be played again within the same series. So, again, the whole idea of Meta Madness is to push teams out of their comfort zone a little bit, force them to play heroes that you would normally not see. And we had some crazy games. The qualifiers were already awesome, but I have to say that some of the matches that we've seen in the playoffs, in the winner bracket, were just absolutely amazing. In addition to that, we now also have the rematch between the Cats and the Dogs, and they've already fighting a little bit like... But now we're going into the ultimate battle, because now we're in the playoffs. So better, what's better? The Dogs, the Cats, we're gonna find out. I mean, you can let me know what you personally prefer. I'm definitely a dog person. We had Cats and Dogs when I was younger, so I'm kind of okay with both. But if you would put a gun to my head and force me to pick one, I would probably go for Dogs. But yeah. So Blackheart's Bay is our opening map. The players again fighting for the prize money. $2,000 are on the line in total. We don't have a massive sponsor here, so the prize money and everything is financed by me this time. And as we're heading into Christmas right now, a bit of an early Christmas present for the Heroes of the Storm community, so I hope that you enjoy the show and the matches. We have Sylvanas still picked very early, but Greymane was first pick here on Blackheart's. And by the way, the teams wanted to play this map. Now, the Vikings, alright. Oh, already game number 1, I love it. Now, the cool thing about this is that the teams actually wanted to play on Blackheart's Bay. What we are doing is, in every single best of 5 match, we are determining the starting map. Just to make it a little bit more interesting, to make it a little bit more fun. And this was initially planned to be a best of 3, right? So the teams were put to... Like, we asked them, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to play normal map? Because it's a bit of a special situation, you're welcome to do so. But if not, then these are the special maps that you can pick from. And they wanted to play on Blackheart's Bay, which is actually really interesting because most of the teams were not really too fond of playing Blackheart's again. So now we have the Vikings picked very early, both obviously coming in with a strategy here and trying to do their thing. But yeah, it's it's really fun. With Zarya now banned out, Zeratul is banned. The double pick for the Cats after they started things off with Sylvanas. We got Stukov and Cassia. Alright. So, who do we get on the right side after they locked the Vikings in? I mean, they can technically still go for a backdoor comp, by the way. They got Greymane and Tyrion. If they lock in Morales, then you definitely know what's going on here. Oh, please, please. Backdoor comp plus Vikings. It would be glorious. Just imagine that for a second. I don't think there's a chance. Yeah, they're doing it! They're going for a backdoor comp. Asmodan, Morales, we're gonna get Medivac jumps onto Keeps and Core, with Asmodan going into Demonic Invasion on level 10. And now the Cats are looking at this and they're thinking like, oh my god, why? Oh, it's gonna be glorious. What do they pick? They pick ETC. Oh, ETC, the final pick. Blackheart's Bay, everybody. This is gonna be a blast. The opening map is already a gift, and I love it. Christmas came early. Let's go. Map number 1, losers bracket. Dogs against the Cats.
Get ready
It's gonna be glorious, guys. It is gonna be absolutely glorious. If you don't know what's going on here, then you're in for a treat. And if you know what's going on here, you know that you're in for a treat. The cats on the left in blue, game number 1 of the best of 5. We have Drakia on ETC, Captain Rex on Stukov, Commander Rex on Cassia. Herath is playing Leoric, and Mistake is playing Sylvanas. Now, the Sylvanas pick was definitely not a mistake, but they don't have a lot of counters against what's going on here from the dogs. They have a blind on Cassia at least. They can try and use ETC, a couple of slaps from Stukov to get them away from the keep or the core. But let's see if it works. On the right side, the dogs with J-Hard on Grey Main, Torjan on Azmodan, Link is playing the Vikings. We got Xemixam on Tyrael, and Suspect is playing Morales. As usual, you need Azmodan to do his thing and stack globes. I mean, even with this being a backdoor strategy where they're obviously trying to get him onto level 10 as quickly as they can so that they have access to the demonic invasion, they are going to still try and stack him. And currently, it's not going that hot, but they seem to be able to save everybody. Very nice and very quick rotation from the blue team, trying to prevent structures from being taken out. But in addition to what's already going on here, they're now losing ETC, so that little flank that they prepared did not work as nicely as they were hoping for. The stacking is honestly not really amazing. Torjan needs to watch some of the previous Azmodan games that were played in order to figure out how to properly do this. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, this is also not quite how they want to win the game, but it never really hurts to get Azmodan some proper stacks together. So I would love for them to still try and make that happen. But either way, the idea is, of course, to start with a good early game, get to level 10. Now they lose Grey Main. Yeah. So what's the problem with playing the strategy that the red team is trying to execute? The problem is always that you are in a situation where you have to... Ooh, nice. Sylvanas counter kill. Very well done. Morales alive. Might still die. Will die, but potentially a kill. No, they get too greedy. Okay, so... First of all, you're obviously sacrificing your team several times as you're trying to take out a keep on the opponent's side and as you're then going for core, which technically isn't really a problem because the whole idea is just that you suicide to take these things out and you will win the game then, and it doesn't really matter too much. The problem kicks in when you are falling behind in experience too early. Your opponent is able to just snowball you. That could, for example, happen when big pushes are set up by the blue team using Sylvanas. They could try and do that. And another thing that you also have to do is you have to take a fort down. You can't just simply destroy a keep and then say like, alright boys, now we go for core. Teams have tried and guess what? It doesn't work. The core is still invulnerable. So you need to take a fort down too. This is where they are now trying at the bottom of the map to push. The Vikings are in a really good position to keep them in a very decent spot at the top and the mid lane. But there's also, of course, the doubloons on the map, and that means that if the cats are somehow able to dominate the objective, they could be the ones pushing a lot harder, and that would be then a massive problem. Now, down here, nothing to be done. The camp will go to the cats. The dogs are currently going for camps themselves up at the top, which means down at the bottom of the map, they will have to face the music on this one. But this is still going to be a pretty spicy game. Now, if you're not familiar with what the red team is doing, it's actually pretty simple. The whole idea is you get Morales to level 10, you use Medivac, and then you get this entire lineup, and you fly over to a keep. You kill this keep, and then you get killed, you try to do it again afterwards, and you take the core out. Now, why you need Morales obviously for the Medivac. What you want to do is also use Tyrael, because he can use Sanctification, which gives you more time on the keep and core. You have Grey Main for Worgen form and extra damage against the core, and in this case they chose Azmodan as an additional damage dealer because he can use Demonic Invasion on level 10, which is also pretty amazing for it. Now what the other team can do is they're trying to keep you away from the core for as long as possible, and that's where Stukov comes in. He is going to take Slap in this game just to push them away from the core. ETC most likely stage dive to very quickly react to whenever Morales flies in with the Medivac. They're going to use the blind on Cassia, on Grey Main in an attempt to make sure that he's not getting too much damage in. It's always a race for whether or not the keep or the core falls. Usually you need 2 approaches for the core, 1 move for the keep if everything goes according to plan. And right now, the dogs are in a situation where they are keeping up in experience. That's already big. That's already a big move. Keeping up in experience, not falling behind here, that's highly important. And then afterwards is the play around vision, making sure that you're able to make those moves properly and fly in with Medivac. So with that, yeah, the stage is set. Everybody knows what's happening here. The blue team knew it the second they saw Morales. I already had an inkling even before. I mean, I mentioned it during the draft that they could actually, with their opening, pick Morales, and they did. So we'll see. But the turn in the first one is already happening, so that means that the mid fort is going to get destroyed once the Commander Rex is done with it. So this one is going to get destroyed in just a bit. And down here they open the wall up, but they still have to destroy the fort. Now, important, you don't need to destroy the fort before you go for the keep, but you need to destroy the fort before you're going for core. Which shouldn't be a problem with Azmodan once that he has his level 10 ability, but yeah. So now level 10 kicks in. This is where the blue team has to be really careful. They now need to monitor and really need to keep an eye on everything. Entomb is obviously going to be taken, Azmodan with a Demonic Invasion. All of the ults exactly as predicted. Slap for Stukov, ETC with Stage Dive. Again, everybody knows what's going on here. Everybody knows what's going to happen. It's just a question of execution right now. This is also one of the reasons why ETC is currently double-checking what's happening, because they want to know as soon as possible whenever Morales is starting to make a play, simply so that they can come in and try and steal it. Demonic Invasion and Sanctification on the point. They want to get a kill here. The Slap is pushing everybody away, so they just use their cooldowns in order to get this camp. If they can get a kill with this, that would be nice. You obviously don't have to full YOLO on it. Azmodan with a quick one. Nicely done. And there we go. Vikings, by the way, were also able to turn in once, so we have forts destroyed from each side. So fort at the top lane is destroyed, or in the mid lane, so that's all that they needed to do. By now, they have to still wait for their rogue abilities to come back, but since the chests are also up, they can still turn in again. Now, it doesn't necessarily... Like, the cool thing is actually, if they already win by not using the cheese, even better. I mean, they can even play a normal game and then just fly in. So the first check is already done. First checkbox, first task is already accomplished. Vikings have turned in their gems, therefore one fort is gone. And now all they gotta do is, yeah, play the game out, try and get another turn in here, play this as best as they can. But there's already Morales and they're just flying away. And it doesn't quite work. Well, it kind of works. Maybe they lose Greymane. He has one doubloon, that's fine. But you will notice here that they're using a lot of their cooldowns and they're not getting as much out of it as you would think. Link with 5 doubloons gets slowed by ETC and Leoric, but doesn't get killed. Alright. So they haven't really made a move yet. At least not a big one. We have 122 stacks for Azmodan. It's one of the reasons, by the way, why I said I would love for Azmodan to stack a little bit faster and get some assistance in the early game. Because even though he doesn't go for full focus on the Orb of Annihilation and has also gone into Greed over here, it would still be pretty sweet if they would have just stacked this properly. Vikings are still pushing, they're still controlling the map, and now they could for a backdoor. So at this point, they're going for a camp, and after they take this, they could go for a keep. With ETC, I mean, they don't know this, but ETC is currently on a cooldown. And yep, there we go. So they're actually flying over to the camp. And yeah, I guess steal the camp away? I mean, a nice little move. The problem is that they can't go for the keep like this. And this isn't working as well as they thought. I honestly don't understand why they're doing this. This is such a dumb move, I don't know what to say. That was just stupid. Like, why would you do that? If you want to backdoor, go for the keep. Backdooring a camp? I mean, what for? Even if you get the camp, like, where's the big win? And if you have to retreat, you gotta go to the middle. So I'm not quite sure what that exactly was. If you're playing this comp, I mean, this was their best opportunity to make a play for a keep. Morales is dead, is then gonna come back, and they can fly over to a keep. But if you're playing a backdoor... Like, guys, if you play a backdoor strategy, backdoor. It's that simple. I am not quite sure what's happening. They're playing a backdoor comp and they're not using it. Now they're not falling too far behind. They're now trading a fort for a fort. At the top lane is obviously a boss, so this fort will be lost as well. With Sylvanas pushing, there's just no way to save it. But they're now already moving in at the bottom of the map to open this one up. It's not necessarily a bad thing. If they are just using it to back to the core later, they can obviously do this as well. But I expected them to already backdoor a while ago, and they didn't. So now they're still trying to make a play here. There's 3 defenders already. That might be a bit too much for them to handle. Topside fort is now destroyed. This should still be taken out. And yep, the Vikings are also still baiting this a little bit. So all good still. Morales, by the way, has now her ult ready, but they still have to wait for Azmodan if they want to backdoor again. They open the bot lane up a bit, so even if they're now going to fly onto the opponent's keep at the bottom of the map, they should still be able to retreat with a couple of their heroes, but yeah. I mean, we'll see. Okay, we'll see how this works out. I just want to highlight they haven't backdoored yet. Which is weird if you're playing a backdoor comp. But okay. It's not going too badly for them. It's still 16 versus 16, at least in the second it is. So I like that they're able, with this comp, to play a normal game. There's the turn-in for the blue team. The problem that they have is they will eventually still... Will they lose? I mean, in structures, the two teams are absolutely identical. All of the forts have already been lost. But yeah, so now they could try and fly in. If they're getting in a good position, which they currently don't. I think they're a little bit hesitant to fly because they're simply saying, okay, right now we're still drawing even. We can save this for later. The problem, obviously, if you're starting to backdoor is, if you're going here, you are willing to sacrifice your entire team to take that keep. That means that you're falling behind in experience and your opponent gets more map control. If they're able to play an even game and not fall behind, then they can always do this later. The problem is now if they're forced into fights like this one, then they're gonna have a little bit of a problem. So Morales is the only one in the medevac trying to fly out here. That didn't work out, so now Azmodan is dead. Again, they're trying to leverage the Vikings more, which I generally like, but they've now lost the keep in the middle, and they're losing it all the way up at the top. So I gotta say, I would really love for them to start using their comp. I would have already used it a bit previously just to take a keep down, and then you're always threatening the opponent's core. They have to be super vigilant, and while you're doing that, the Vikings can just control the rest of the map. So I'm a bit worried about this. For the cats, things are going so far pretty nice. On the other hand, I really, really like the different approach and strategies that we have here. I like it a lot because this is not your typical game by any means. Both teams came in with a very different vision, and now the way that they're executing it is pretty cool. 35,000 damage for Azmodan. Alright, and where... What? Huh? Did he just fat finger his keys, or what's going on here? Did I miss something? Did he get like an Uber Eats order or something and he got paid for that? Like, I'm like, wait, what? Huh? That was a very suspect move. Pun intended. So yeah, it's a low cooldown. Maybe Morales was just tired. Didn't want to walk. Was just like, fuck it. So yeah. I swear to God, if they don't at least backdoor once this game, then I like wait, what? Come on, boys, you can do it. Like hide here, fly. Fly like an eagle. I guess they want to turn in first. That's obviously a problem. They have 15 doubloons. If they are not turning in before they're doing this, then they are losing all of the doubloons. That's the downside. That's the big problem that they have right now. If they go in now, they're losing way too much. What is Morales doing with these medevacs? I mean, oh my god. Alright, is that gonna work? Maybe? Sanctification, just turn in. It's a 5 versus 4. Don't give them a chance to get Sylvanas back. Don't lose a hero here. Get everybody in play and turn those doubloons in so that you can actually backdoor. Here come the level 20 abilities. So it's level 20 versus level 16. They're losing 1, 2. Morales is gone and the blue team is all of a sudden winning the fight. Yep, and now your gems are gone anyways. Oh my god. Yeah, that is the big sag. I am a little bit speechless here. So they turned in again. Now it's going to be the final keep that gets attacked. They could have just turned in. Turn into the balloons and then backdoor. Now we got Sin's Grasp, we got the Holy Arena. I mean, it's now or never, boys. Either you backdoor or you die. That's pretty much your options. How many doubloons do they have? Oh my god. That's 17 doubloons. They can pick up another 2 over here on the camp. Yeah, and there's a boss up as well. Oh, that is not good. Yeah, that is not good. That's not good at all. So, they're flying to the middle, I guess. Yep. Morales is flying to the middle. Okay, they have to win the fight, I suppose, because if the turn-in happens, it's over. So, here we go. I didn't even buy a ticket for this game, but I want my money back. Like, what on earth? So there's the hit. Come on, can they win the fight? Can they make this a bit more interesting? Bottom keep, by the way, is nearly falling. Those siege giants at the bot lane are doing a little bit of work. Gotta give them that. The Vikings are still pushing. They're getting Asmodan for the big poke. And, yep, down here, this thing is nearly gone. If they can fly here, they can take this and then go core, I guess. Turn in with... Oh, ho, 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 imagine they could get Tracker here. That would it be. Now they turn in the single doubloon from Torja. Now they want to turn things in all of a sudden. Uh-huh. Alright, alright. ETC! Goodbye, baby. He flies in. Tyrael is gone. No Holy Arena. And Morales is also dead. Do you smell that? Oh, do you guys smell that? Like, this smells like GG. Man, I don't know. Double slow and the mace to the face. Swinging for the fences again. Nearly a 5-man team wipe. Now the turn-in is gonna happen. And the dogs are, yeah, ending a game with the backdoor composition where they didn't backdoor even one time. I am not quite sure what exactly happened here, but let's just state that it's not what I expected from this series. So, yeah, I kind of feel cheated a little bit. That's a win. That's a wrap. They didn't use it once. Not a single time. I'm like, what? Nani? So, the Cats outsmarted them. The Cats with a 1-0 lead in the best of 5 series. As we're heading towards game number 2. Talking about disappointing games. Damn, I was hyped after that draft. But, yeah. I mean, as I said, I didn't even buy a ticket for this game, and I want my money back. Either way, GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Alright, game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen. After we probably had the most disappointing map of the tournament, game number 1. Let's see what we're now getting in game number 2. Now, the Cats have taken the lead, so the Cats, they've been sneaky. They tricked the dogs and then stole their food, which is what we normally see also in real life. But if the dogs, you know, come back and just get that big bite going, then maybe we're gonna go for a tie here. 32 heroes are now banned out. We have the 22 pre-bans, and the 10 heroes that were just now played cannot be played again. Heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen, you're obviously looking to get some wave clear. That would be the normal approach. You can also go for a bit more of an aggressive play with just trying to go for kills. But we've had already a lot of heroes that you would use in that situation played, and therefore they're banned. So now that Kerrigan is getting the axe, I want to see what the dogs are doing. I am still flabbergasted by the first game. Honestly, I really feel cheated. They drafted this so well, the Cats didn't even see it coming. I honestly just saw it at the last moment. I was like, this is actually, this is working if they want a backdoor. And then they come in and they're like, you know what? We're going for the IQ 200 play. Can't get wiped at the keep if you don't backdoor. So, yeah. I mean, the good news is they didn't get wiped at the keep. The bad news is that they never even made it there. They couldn't even take one down, nor could they go for the core to begin with, so not sure. Stitches gets banned as well, and we have also, I mean, they're axing one mage. We still have Gul'dan available, we have Kalthas available, so there's still a couple. I Unless they ban out more of them, which I don't think they will. Zul. The roaming Zul is something that nobody wants right now. I mean, with the lack of tanks as we're going into game number 3, 4, and 5, Zul is becoming an option as a main tank too. His sustain is obviously pretty strong. We've seen it in a few other games in the winner bracket already. But what are we getting as a first pick? Sylvanas is out. Carrigan is banned. What do they prioritize? What do they value? Uther! He is another potential main tank. Uther main tank and then a second support. Now if you play that strategy, it's also putting a bit of a strain onto the healer pool. So that's the other thing. Then we could eventually run out of healers. Normally when we're talking about game number 5, I mean most of the time now when we're going into game number 5, there has to be either a little bit of a gentleman's agreement that each team gets a healer, or chaos reigns, they're banning out everything and there's no healer available at all, which is obviously also pretty funny to begin with. So we get Jaina and we get Deckard Cain. One to put them asleep and the other to frost shock them a little bit. Okay. Jaina has been... Jaina played by mistake. Jaina isn't a mistake. Anduin was a mistake. Jaina's fine. Alright. Gul'dan, there he is. And Yrel, the Space Goat. Okay. So, I like what they have. And again, they could still play Uther main tank. Unless... well, actually, no, that look at it. I mean, they can't ban anything else out here. ETC is obviously not available either, so you can't go for Divine Shield and a Mosh Pit. You can't go for the Holy Cow. If anything, then trying to ban another damage dealer, I'd say. They're banning Ana, yeah. At the end of the day, they're looking at Uther and they're also just saying, like, yeah, let's get this. They, by the way, also have to, now that I look at the draft, they gotta change the pick. Yrel is actually not available. So I'm totally fine if they finish the draft, but I'm not quite sure if they understand that Yrel is not available here. Yrel was added to the ban list. So do they know that and they just announced in chat what the swap is? Or are they unaware? I mean, I can't see the chat right now, but typically, you know, if a team accidentally picks the wrong hero, is fine. They can either then say, like, yes, we're redrafting everything, or they can just simply say, like, yo, oh, sorry, we intended to pick this hero, and then they finish the draft, they close out the draft at the end, and then restart. So we'll have to see what exactly they're doing here. If they're starting the game, of course, that would be a bit unfortunate, then we have to go through the whole rigmarole again, but I hope that they are aware of it. Again, shit happens. So, we get Imperius and we have Mei. Rest is still fine. Let's see what the two last picks are. So for the time being, I'll assume that they know that Yrel is not allowed and that they just mispicked and announced what other hero they would like to play. So we're getting Auriel and we get Arthas. I like that we're seeing more Arthas. It's always kind of fun. Final pick. Let's see what we're getting. Tomb of the Spider Queen and the Cats coming in with a little bit more damage, hopefully. They got Mei, they got Imperius. Another melee would work, but they can also, of course, add another range damage delay if they really want to. So, let's have a bit of a look here. Final pick on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and it is... Deathwing. Alright, game number 2, and as expected, they announced in the chat very quickly that they wanted to go for Ragnaros and not Yrel, so all good in the hood. We got the Cats on the left with Dark Reader on Mei. We got Captain Rex on Deckard Cain, Herath on Imperius, Mistake on Jaina, and Commander Rex on Deathwing. Over to the right side of the map, it's the Dogs with Xemixam on Arthas. We got Suspect on Auriel, Torjan on Uther. So indeed, Uther main tank, I guess, with a double support to help out Link with Ragnaros and J-Heart with Gul'dan. Alright, a triple front line at the end of the day, and we're going full Sulphurous Hungers on level 1. Alright, smash 'em, baby. Deathwing coming in here. Looking good as well. I gotta say, with that particular color, with that tint, I'm alright with it. I'm okay with it. This could be so much worse, so yes. That was a good one. But Arthur's coming in and already trying to slow them down. But look at that, all of that CC unleashed from Blackheart Kane, the old geezer here. Yeah, he knows what's good. He's been around for a while. They are starting to make a play for Ragnaros, though. No baby Ragnaros skin, by the way. Oof, that's a missed opportunity and a half, if I may say so. We have the Fellflame build for Khaldor as they're trying to make a play on that. And the rotation between the mid and the top lane has now started as well. So, with that said and done, we're off to the races. Off to a good start here. Can the dogs make up for their little brain fart in the first game? I mean, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, so maybe that backdoor strategy was something that they were just not willing to experiment with. They were brave enough to draft it, but then they were like, maybe not. So, yeah, back to the bases. Back to the basics. They're going for more of a normal composition, at least in the way that it shapes out, with, like, you know, a proper front line, a back line, and some support. Obviously, the hero choices are a little bit more out there, but that is what we're looking for with Meta Madness, so I'm okay with it. And, well, camps are slowly getting taken. Arthur's not going for a trade build. Would have been nice to see him just try and stack a bit more damage, I suppose. But still, this is fine. We got the Fingers of Frost over here for Jaina as a level 1 choice. Arthur's is frosting it up a bit for the dogs. Having Arthur's or Jaina around might be really cool at the party, because you just have ice cubes every day, like non-stop. I mean, it's actually fantastic. There should be like a cocktail bar with Arthur's and with Jaina. I think that would be a hit. An absolute hit. What's also a hit is their play for Arthur's, I think, because they more or less have him isolated here if they make a play for him. That's the interesting path away. Like, so yeah, Arthur's a little bit lost here. Gets the assist from the rest of the team, but is also getting body blocked all of a sudden and now rooted down. So, yep, Arthur's is going down. That was, I mean, yeah, kind of called early. It doesn't really come as a surprise given how this shaped up and how he tried to get away from the fight. So Arthur's a little bit idling. He's a little bit scatterbrained apparently here. So yeah, he gets out. It's a kill against 0. Arthur's dying. We have on level 4 now, press forward. We're getting the potion of shielding too. And now they're trying to make a play at the top for Blackheart Kane. But the old man is still moving out. Alright. At level 4, we're now also getting Deathlord. I like the whole Death Coil build actually quite a lot. Bit of a nuke, bit of a heal. Kind of a bit of extra poke in there. It's always kind of neat to have that. We get Catching Fire. Blizzard is actually so insanely lazy when it comes to some of their talents and the icons that the talents get. It's kind of funny to me that there's so many where they use them for the same heroes. In the case of Imperius and Ragnaros, they at least try to be a little bit sneaky. If you compare the 2 level 4 talents for those 2 heroes, then you see that they at least changed the color scheme a little bit for Imperius, but it's essentially still the exact same graphic. They just changed the color slightly, and then they hoped that we wouldn't notice it. But yeah, I'm sorry Blizzard, we did, we caught you. And we're not afraid to call it out here. I swear to God, there's a couple of people that are currently looking at this like, oh my God, I never knew. Totally big revelation here on stream. You heard it here first. So, Flash of Anger is in. On top of that, we're also getting the Ice Flurs. Well, bit of a whip against May, but didn't really do a whole lot for them. Hand of Ragnaros is now in. We get the Hand of Protection. Damn, even with the double support, he's going for the Icebound Fortitude, okay? So, they have tons of sustain here. Blue team with the first Web Weaver wave on the other hand. So they're coming in now with the first set of spiders, trying to take a couple of these walls down. Ragnaros could definitely use the trade at the bot lane to take one down. Shouldn't really be a problem. Imperius with the stun attempt, but that didn't work. Okay, and well, let's see how much damage the blue team can do. Obviously, they're now ahead in the series, so if they're taking another map and make this a 2-0, then they would have 3 match points in a row. Going for a full reverse sweep would demand a lot from the dogs, and I'm not quite sure if they're up for it. But yep, Ragnaros moving straight towards the middle. I guess they're going to try and save the fort here, but somebody has to rotate back down then and help out there. Ragnaros doesn't really know where to go. Dude, make a choice. Okay, so trade down at the bottom of the map. He's going to go straight for the Molten Core here and is going to defend, but it also means that up at the top they have to go for it without him. They're losing a lot of hit points on that fort, but it is still in play. And down at the bottom of the map, they're trying to make a play. Ragnaros, careful. Deathwing, Scorched Earth. He's coming in big time, but Jaina is the one that falls as she gets whipped by Oriel. Apparently she's not into the kinky shit. So yeah, no whips for Jaina. That's something that Oriel is going for, but Jaina, nah, she's a little bit of a prude. I always knew it. But yeah, she's always liked to give people the cold shoulder, you know. Alright, so Siege Giants down at the bottom of the map. So the dogs with the half... I mean, honestly, with the decent defense, this could have been so much worse, particularly with the push in the middle. But they defended, they didn't lose a fort, there's some damage done in the mid lane. Each team now with level 10, but they also still have to get some kills. And talking kills, we've only seen 2 so far. Horrify, yeah, gets used. Divine Shield, damn, they're unleashing everything on Uther to keep him alive here. First Aegis and Horrify. We get Lava Wave, by the way. Tim would be proud. Somewhere Trixler is smiling. So yes, Lava Wave it is. You gotta use it, baby. Arthas is dead too. They're trying again to get a few more of them. Jayhard, nah, couldn't do anything here. And Ragnaros, use your ult, bro. If you want to control this a little bit more, now's the time. Next minion wave has just spawned. Can time it out a little bit on the clock at the top so that he times it with the next one. But yep, Lava Wave is something that you want to use more or less as often as you can. The problem with Lava Wave is honestly that you are going to... yeah, you're missing out on one of your nukes. I'm looking at this and I'm honestly asking myself, like, how exactly are they going to kill stuff? They have a lot of CC, but when it comes to like damage that they can really push onto a point, Sulfuras would have gone a long way. They have Howling Blast, they have Uther with the stun, so they have a lot of tools that they can use for this. If you want to do Lava Wave, then yes, obviously you can do a lot with it, but the problem are also the gems. So, yeah. We'll see it in a second here in the mid lane. The problem is very much this. So over here, bam, everything's fine, and here's where the problem kicks in. Wow, he mistimed it. Oh, dude! So he doesn't even get the next wave, he got a single minion wave, 1! Yeah, this is not going well for the dogs whatsoever. He mistimed the lava wave and they didn't get the second minion wave. But the problem is that if you even hit it, then the gems are obviously out of reach, so you can't go for the gems. So it's honestly... I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the dogs. I think the dogs are a little bit drunk. Maybe they ate some chocolate, like I don't know. But they are clearly having a bit of a hard time. First game number 1, now this is happening. We got Jaina with the completed baseline quest, so now she has her ice block as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly a little weary of how this is going for them now, because it's now 4 kills to 1. They just lost Ragnaros, they lost Oriel. It's still something that you can recover from, and Ragnaros gives you at least some global pressure, I guess. So if you're trying to put that on the bot lane as much as you can, and then just make some plays around the boss at the top eventually, you can definitely do that. But given the fact that they don't have a whole lot of direct damage, I would have assumed they go for Sulfuras, then use Howling Blast, use Stun, and just kill targets that way. Use Gul'dan, Ragnaros with the nuke. But if you look at a bit at the damage numbers here, for example, we have 26,000 for Gul'dan, which is nice. But then again, they're not getting a whole lot of kills right now. We have 23,000 for Imperius. Jaina's coming in with another 20k, 20k for Deathwing. So the numbers are just way better overall for the cats. And there's tons and tons of sustain that we're now seeing on the side of the dogs. But if you think about it for just a second, there's not all that much on-point damage. Uther has gone into Divine Shield. So we have Divine Shield and we have Aegis as panic buttons to save a hero. When you're looking at the build that they're currently using on Arthas, we have Icebound Fortitude, so even here it's all survivability. Then on level 4 we have Deathlord, so even on level 10 we've seen so much in the Gosa right now, but he's still going for the Army of the Dead, which means that we now have in total 3 heroes that have a very defensive ult And it's all fine if you have a hyper carry, if you have someone like, I don't know, Vala, for example, or even Jimmy with stacks. Doesn't really matter on what you're going for. If you have a hyper carry that can really bring the pain, Suljin, let's say Suljin. You stack Suljin into the late game, you're coming in, you have a front line that is super beefy, hard to take down, you have a double support, Uther, Auriel, and then instead of Ragnaros or instead of Gul'dan, you got Suljin. He's stacking the game that gets delayed. If you replace Gul'dan with Suljin, you could use Ragnaros and his Molten Core to just, you know, save those forts a little bit and make the game longer. Suljin stacks, gets into a good spot, and then you're in a pretty nice position. But right now, with this comp, and without Sulfuras, I'm just looking at this and I'm like, how are you killing heroes? Because it's not like killing Mei or Imperius is all that easy. You're not even talking Deathwing here. So where's your damage output that really gets the kills? You have a little bit of a CC that you can use, but now the first fort is gone. The second one at the bottom of the map is suffering too and might get destroyed, which means that the cats are now pulling further ahead in experience. Ragnaros, yeah, can he maybe... No, he's not even trying to channel Molten Core here. I assume he has the cooldown back, so that's 2 forts destroyed now, and they're just simply walking away from it. Yeah, the numbers are not there. Gul'dan is great, but I don't think he's going to be enough for them. Now we got level 13 as a talent advantage. There's still an opportunity for a turn-in. The problem is that with all the kills that came in against Auriel and Ragnaros, they also lost a decent amount of gems, which now means there's another opportunity. Ice Wall is in. There's the Divine Shield, so they're trying to save Ragnaros. Arthas is in the thick of things, gets the army popped, and this is exactly my point. So there's the Ice Wall. They go for a kill on Arthas. He's dead. Now they're trying to follow it up with a second one. Good whip at least against Mei. But the situation is still the same. The blue team is leveraging their level 13 talent advantage. And now they are also gaining more and more map control on the map. So... yeah. It's a bit tough. 5 kills to 1. Level 13 in just a bit, and here's the second Web Weaver wave. And honestly, this is what I'm mostly afraid of. Against the Web Weavers, they have some decent tools to defend. Gul'dan is great, yeah, Ragnaros is also good, decent, so they have some tools. But I don't think they can save the fort at the top lane, for example. And, yeah. Maybe they're making it to 20, but... Also, we haven't seen a whole lot of Lava Wave yet. There's a Lava Wave now at the top lane, but this is only the second. Yeah, Arthas gets caught here. Okay, so they want to go for another quick kill. Aegis is already out. Horrify was used as well, but they still get Auriel. Lava Wave has again done the damage up at the top, and now, yeah, they're getting another one. So here's the gems, by the way. This is from the minion wave at the top that got eliminated. So that's a 4th kill, 22 gems down the drain. The dogs are getting beaten. Absolutely beaten. They're trying for a 5-man team wipe, and I don't see a reason why they wouldn't be able to pull this one off. Can Link get away? Ah, he actually can get out. Look at that. But now he's a little bit caught. 5-man team wipe. So there's the kill, and now the game is falling apart for them. I mean, look at the gap in experience alone. 16 against 14. So that's another big talent advantage. Now the first keeps are gonna fall. It's just not working for them. The composition is just not working. The damage output isn't really there. That's 2 keeps gone, and we're only 11 minutes into the game, so they're just losing more and more ground. The ult for Ragnaros just doesn't work for them. They lost all of their gems, so they have still not gotten a single turn in, and the blue team can now easily retreat. They can leverage the level 16 talent, try and force a fight if they get another kill. Even the core is an option. So yeah, once again, they make a move, but they can't. Maybe now. Jaina, low and dead. Finally a kill. Ragnaros gets caught too, though. They got the double support for all of that sustain, but they need a few more kills. Jaina alone is not enough. They need to do a bit more. Frozen Tempest, they're trying to walk them down here. There's a Howling Blast. I like it, alright. But then Deckard Cain with his own ult, and Arthas, he's still trying to follow here. God, Sulfuras would have been good in some of these situations. Now they're coming in for Mei. Oh, they can't kill anything! And instead, Deathwing gets a double kill. Goes for the barbecue, nearly gets a third. The Uther ghost prevents it from happening, but Arthas is dead too. 13 kills to 2. And the dogs, they are toying with... sorry, the cats are toying with the dogs here. Yeah, they're getting whacked around quickly. Cats just on an absolute tear and making a... yeah... There's another ice wall. Good hit. Bye-bye, Oriel. That is the second 5-man team wipe. So, 15 kills to 2. 18 to 15. And, well, that's one way or another going to be game. I mean, I don't think there's a way to recover from this. They have no gems. If they had gems, maybe they can somehow come back into this. But right now, there is no gems whatsoever. So, yeah. If they get to level 16, they have at least even talents. Maybe with that, they have a bit of an option here. But obviously, it's gonna be very, very difficult. So, yeah. Anyways, by now, we have the level 16 talents that gives us Benediction, that gives us the Rampant Hellfire, and the Giant Scorcher. Good talents, good power spikes. I just don't see how it changes the underlying problem. Now down at the bottom of the map, siege lines are taken, the more pressure is put onto the core through the bot lane, the more they can leverage the top lane to their advantage, go for the boss, for example. Half a level and they're on 20, so the cats are playing it a bit safer right now. I don't think they want to risk too much here. If they can catch somebody, then of course they're going to make a play. But they have the luxury of playing this a little bit slower, wait for level 20, and then go with a level 20 advantage. And there's no reason for them not to, particularly since they also can now turn in and get themselves another set of Web Weavers, which is exactly what they're trying to do here. And they've just done it. So Web Weavers are going to come in, they're going to have level 20 together with it. Aegis saving Uther for a moment. Arthur's down here at the bottom, still trying to get away. Uther with a Divine Shield, he's in trouble. There's another heal probably coming out, but Arthur's... oh, can they kill Deckard? Yes! Deckard is down, but so is Uther. Arthur's is dead as well. There's a lava wave now down at the bottom of the map, trying to get a bit of value for them. And actually does. So, yeah, well, doesn't. Both of them ice block. Honestly, ice block should be melted away by a lava wave. Ice block should be melted away. And this is the third 5-man team wipe that we're now getting to see here. Link can run, he can't hide. The core is already getting attacked. And that's now 20 kills to 3. So, core is on. We have level 20 talents. And that's a 2-0 lead. 2-0 in favor of the cats right now. And that means that we are going to have 3 match points potentially in a row for the boys in blue. They're dominating. They're absolutely dominating this series right now. And I think the dogs are honestly struggling with either strategy or drafting. Take your pick, depending on whether we're looking at game number 1 or game number 2. So I hope that they can turn things around for game 3. But I guess we'll see. See you guys in a sec as we are heading straight into the 3rd game of the series. Gun of Terror, game number 3. Guys, I think the dogs are as confused as I am. They seem a little bit lost here, honestly. They're just running in circles, trying to catch their tail, and they are happy doing it, but they don't really know why it's not working. That seems... They're happy to be here, they just don't know why things aren't working out for them. That's the impression that I'm getting, and I don't think I'm too far off. Now we have match point number 1 for the cats, 2-0 here in the losers bracket. Obviously, whichever team loses is out of the tournament. And yeah, we have 42 heroes now banned. 22 pre-bans, 20 heroes unavailable because they got played already. And we're going to one of the bigger maps in the pool. So Garden of Terror is our 3rd map. And I hope for the dogs that they get their draft together. But I don't know what to say after the first 2 games. I really don't. Game number 1, we had a backdoor composition that just refused to backdoor anything. And then game number 2, it was a full sustain comp that didn't do any damage. I'm really not a fan of this meme that exists. It's like, oh my god, they don't have any damage. I think most of the cases, people just don't understand what can do damage in the game and how you can get kills. But in this case, it was actually accurate. And using Lava Wave in that context also didn't really make a whole lot of sense for Tomb. And then he just kept holding it, saving it for the next game, I suppose. And it didn't really work. So the dogs are a little bit off today. They've been playing great qualifiers, and again, keep in mind, they made it into the top 8, so that's already an accomplishment in and of itself. So a big shout out to them for that. But let's see what we're getting from them on the third map. I mean, honestly, they're now coming in. It was all a ruse, you know. They gave the Cats 2 wins just to make them feel better, and now they're just sweeping the floor with them and go for 3 in a row. If that happens, that would be pretty amazing. Now we get double global and a Tyrande Stitches double pick right into the game. All right. I mean, obviously at this point you know what they're doing. They are going to try and snipe a couple of heroes here. Stitches hook into a Tyrande stun and Hunter's Mark, and then some burst damage behind it. Thinking about burst damage, now that Mephisto's already taken, who do we have for burst damage? I guess you could go Khaldor and add an additional CC, which allows them to get more damage in as that happens. Now, obviously, in a perfect world, we would get Murky. Oh, in a perfect world, we would get Nova. Uh-huh. Stitches hook, Tyrande stun, Nova ult. IQ 200 players, right there. That's the draft we need. That's the draft we deserve. Honestly, one of the things that we deserve in this tournament, and I'm actually a little bit salty that it hasn't been played yet, we need Murky Octocrab into Phoenix. Brrr. And yeah, I would settle Murky Octocrab into Nova Strike. I'm fine with it as well. If you want to go for that, be my guest. I'm okay with it. So, yeah. Alexstrasza and Mal'Ganis taken for the dogs. That's not bad. I mean, again, like, they have some good heroes here. Mephisto, they definitely have damage. I mean, Mephisto can pretty much, like, murder an entire team by himself. With Zul banned again, we get Chen banned out too. That's racist. The poor pandas. So, and we are going for... Come on, like, bring it. We need that Murky. Murky on Garden of Terror, we need that 100%. Gimme, 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 gimme. There's no way we're gonna get that. I'm hoping for Swamkrota on some team to just like grab his Murky at some point. Khaldor, again, kind of predicted Khaldor earlier, that Gravity Lapse is of course nice. And on top of that, we get D.Va. So, what do we need still? We have a side lane, a little bit more damage. Yeah, I'm still thinking about what if they could at some point go for one of those comps, but we get Zagara and we get Malthael. That's not too shabby. I mean, again, you get Last Rites here too. You have Zagara for side lane pressure. You just need to make sure that she's alive. So good coordination and communication is important. Whenever there's a rotation towards her, she needs to know immediately so that she can back off. With a good creep spread, it's going to assist her, but yeah. And with that, we got our final pick for game number 3. We could technically be the last map in this series. Line of Terror, and our final pick is Phoenix. We get Phoenix, we're missing Murky. We're halfway there. So, let's go. Third game in the series, everybody. Let's make it happen, Garden of Terror. Game number 3, the Cats with the 2-0 against the Dogs, and the big opportunity, of course, to make it a 3-0 victory and move on to the next round of the tournament. On the left, Drak here with D.Va, we got Erath on Stitches, Mistake on Khaldor, Commander Rex on Phoenix, and Captain Rex on Tyrande. To the right side of the map, we got Xemixam for the Dogs with Malthael, Suspect on Mephisto, Link is playing Alexstrasza for the team, Torjan on Zagara, and Mal'Ganis is played by Jayhard. So, can they put a point onto the board? Can they at least get one? Can they come in here and just say like, alright boys, game 1, 2 didn't quite work out for us, but now we have the formula cracked, now we know exactly how to pull this off here. They already tried to be a bit aggressive right from the get-go, and I like it, but can they capitalize on this maybe with even a kill? Or at least set things up for Zagara so that she can push that bot lane Having some nice lane pressure is definitely going to help on a big map like this. The one thing I still want to see, honestly, is Nidus at some point. The problem with Nidus is just simply that all the Maws that we've seen thus far have been so absolutely amazing and sometimes even game-winning that it makes perfect sense to not go into Nidus. I can't really blame a team for that, but it would be kind of funny to get it. It's a kill against the Dogs that starts us off though. Mephisto dies, gets hooked and killed a second later, so another nice move made by the blue team as they're starting to pull ahead a little bit. They're getting, by the way, hungry for more for Stitches, so not only movement speed advantage, but also working on his hit point pool. And that can be pretty fantastic as the games continue. We already have seen him multiple times with an absolute insane amount of HP that he's been leveraging in the late game. And that also, of course, benefits Devour quite greatly. Really cool synergy that you can build up there. First camps now taken from both teams. Once that the 1 minute mark has passed on this map, you're obviously going to try and just do your thing, set a couple of camps onto lane and start building up the pressure there. In the meantime, down at the bottom of the map, we're already looking at one Bruiser camp pushing on this one. And let's see what we're getting. I mean, first of all, we're getting the Siege Giants taken too. Stitch is the only one that's here. Nobody else is rotating over. So while he can, of course, try and hook the target away for a second, he won't be able to steal the camp itself. But they already have some of the Bruisers right at the wall. One of the towers likely going to fall here. Flank is also coming in. Enough damage to be relevant though, and Jihad is actually getting hit pretty heavily by Khaldor. Energy Royal on level 4 for him now, and on top of that, target acquired. D.Va obviously also funning around a bit as they're going straight for the middle, and it seems like we're going to see another kill. The Angel of Death is pretty dead over here, so he's gone. That's a second kill, and D.Va is leveraging her PhD in PvE up at the top lane and is just taking all of that down. Sits at the side and goes and starts killing shit. So, tower nearly destroyed. Good start for them. Another hook, this time dodged, but the seed at least goes to the Dogs. It was a good starting position for them anyways. So, yeah. Starting position for the seed, or spawn position, was pretty decent here. Yeah, Melganis and Deckard Kane. It's always that battle who is the most boring between the two of them. Who can put the other one to sleep faster. I mean, in this case, obviously, we only have one of the two heroes here, but every single time I see Melganis moving in, I have to immediately think of Deckard. So now, as this continues, we're having our little move for the next set of Siege Giants. And on top of that, we're having at the top lane still Phoenix pushing this one out. Sunfire Enchantment now with a level 7 talent for Khaldor. It's a little bit more of a tame start into the game. We had those 2 kills obviously, but just generally there's a lot of rotational play from the teams. Zagara still attempting to get as much vision down at the bottom of the map as possible to set up for the next push that she can execute here. Seed at the top left should technically go to the blue team. Don't really see a reason why the Cats would give up on that. And Alexstrasza is already... he's dying again. Malthael! What are you doing, man? Malthael is dead for the second time now. Angel of Death with a lot of dying. Well, Zagara at least gets a bit of wiggle room as Khaldor is moving towards the middle, so they can work there. Another good hook. Nice damage here also from Mephisto. The problem is still the same though. While Zagara is pushing at the bottom of the map, Phoenix is at the top, so the side lanes are still being pressured. And the experience gap is starting to lean a little bit more heavily in favor of the blue team. The Cats are by now half a level ahead and are starting to build more on it. And they've destroyed the gate and one of the towers at the top lane. So, yeah, already a neat start. Even the structures at the bottom of the map are suffering here too. And let's not forget that the Dogs haven't gotten a kill yet. At least up to now. And with level 10 abilities approaching, first of all, it could make a difference for the objective. But also, once that Stitches has Gorge, always assuming that he actually goes for that, they could try and use that too to get some nasty kills behind the gates. Even with just a follow-up from Tyrande, it might be enough to get those kills in. Melganis is one of the best assets in that sense for the Dogs, because he's just so disruptive and is insanely annoying and also difficult to kill. It's not really an easy target. So yeah, Melganis moving in again. He's all alone though. And J-Heart gets a heal, but it's not enough to save the day for him. Mephisto finds himself literally behind enemy lines, and they are going for Malthael too. Xemixam has now died for the 3rd time. Mephisto is dead, Alexstrasza is dead, and Zagara is just rushing away. 7 kills to 0. Let's just say that game number 3 is not going any better for the dogs than the first 2 halves so far. So, yeah, that's tough. We got Bunny Hop in, we got Gorge in, we've seen it in action. Phoenix was used, Starfall. The keep at the bottom of the map, or the fort at the bottom of the map, gets now destroyed. Whereas the dogs have grabbed their own heroic abilities. No surprises there, honestly. Durance of Hate, Last Rites, I mean, pretty much what you would expect. As Phoenix is making a play for Zagara and nearly gets the solo kill. The only thing that prevents this from happening is the Maw that gets used. So Maw is already out. And that 1-level lead that we now see for the blue team is putting the Cats firmly in the driver's seat. Yeah. Maybe Cats are the smarter ones after all. I mean, I always, for me personally, I would have said the dogs have the bigger bite. But apparently the Cats are just running circles around them. Link pausing the game, tactical pause already happening here. It's a little bit suspect, honestly. But I'm not quite sure what exactly the problem is. But either way, a bit of a team discussion is probably not a horrible idea given the situation that they find themselves in right now. Zagara over here in the middle. But as we're looking at this, the seed is now spawning. There's no talent advantage, but if this one gets grabbed by the blue team, then obviously we're looking at the first Garden Terrors in the game. And yeah, that would be a little bit tricky. Now, it's already bad enough as is. There's one camp that's going to be taken over here to push for the top side fort. Let's not forget that the wall has pretty much been taken out. So if Siege Giants start pushing in here, this is likely going to be gone. When you're talking about just general mercenary camp pressure, it's way better for the Cats than it is for the red team. The only camp that's currently pushing for the dogs is the Siege Giant camp here in the middle. Oh, that's a Gorge, and I'm not sure if they can get the kill. If the stun connects, they can. Good damage. He's trying to get out here, and it's not happening. Body blocked and killed. Now Stitches has the hook range increased, and it's getting used immediately to lock in a kill against Alexstrasza. So they take down 2. Alexstrasza and Mal'Ganis are both gone, and they're following it up with a 3rd kill against Mephisto. They're absolutely farming them. The Cats go through the dogs like hot butter through cheese as they are killing one hero after another. They make it 10, so they already went for the double digits, and they're gonna get those Garden Terrors as well. Of course they are. So here we go. Topside, Phoenix still has to defend or help at least a bit against the camp that was set en route earlier. But there's just no question that this push is going to be brutal. They're just crushing it here. Absolutely crushing it. Fort in the middle doesn't stand a prayer. Down at the bottom of the map, the keep is already taking damage. So that's the next. There's the hook and the Gorge. I think they can kill. Well, actually, there might be a defense possible. Zagara, is she going to live? Yeah, gets a heal and survives. Drops the Maw too against Kalthas only. Torjan is still not out of this yet, but they're able to walk away. So, good news. Problem is that Phoenix isn't even here. Yes, Tyrande is gone. Malthael has also fallen. There's still Garden Terrors in the middle and up at the top lane, but they've just now gotten a counter kill, and now it's a 4 versus 4 with Phoenix coming in a bit late, but he's starting to bring the pain. Kalthas able to get away. Phoenix with a bit more pressure. The keep in the middle is now starting to take damage. At the top, the fort has been eliminated, so all the forts are now gone, and keeps again have started to suffer too. A 2-level advantage. I mean, at least they finally got a kill. At least they finally got a kill. They took the Cavern of the Storm out, aka Tyrande. And, well, now they can easily start to prep for, yeah, the first keep. Once you have level 16, you can just siege up if you want to, especially if you're getting a kill. But they should start dominating the fights over the mercenary camps, at least. At a minimum. Looking at the damage numbers, just to give you guys a bit of an idea here. 17,000 for Phoenix. And they're working on another kill. They're nearly getting him, but Maltail is still alive, and Kelthas is dead. As expected. Oh, nice salvo. And they even get a kill out of this. Nice. That was good. Maltail dead. Obviously, we have now 30,000 for Mephisto, so he is, as expected, the top damage dealer here. Tyrande is at 15,000. Kelthas is at 15,000. D.Va... she's playing to win with the 18k that she puts on the table. And as expected, they're now starting to invade the opponent's camp. So Siege Giants are being claimed and stolen away. The dogs, they have to pretty much just sit there and watch it happen. Zagara is, funnily enough, the only one that hasn't died yet. The only one on the side of the dogs that has not died even once is Zagara. By far the squishiest hero on the team, and the one that we were worried about the most at the beginning. Now, in the last fight, she was obviously barely saved by Alexstrasza with the ult, but still. Alexstrasza with the Pacify here. We're now having the Fury of the Sunwell and Pulverize on 16 for the Cats. All great talents that they're rocking. Pulverize is obviously amazing for those fights, and then you have the double Flame Strike now too. So yeah, things are looking extremely good for them. Camps everywhere, another seed about to be claimed, but at least we're having 16 talents in the hands of the dogs too, so they can start fighting again. Get them with the Draconic Discipline, Corrosive Saliva, Blind as a Bat as usual, and we got Mortality. And they're looking for the team fight. But, yep, that's another potential kill. Ult is already out. Gravity Labs follow up. Nice ult from Phoenix. Damn, Alex. Yeah, that's the first kill against not all. Oh my god. I was about to say it's the first kill against against Zagara, but look at that. Alexstrasza and Mephisto are both dead too, or Maltail. Mephisto is actually the only one that is not dead yet, but I can see the future, so I knew that he would die. And that's a full 5-man wipe. 17 kills to 3. It's insane. They're crushing them, and now they're going for keeps. Can they go for core here? I mean, I guess so, if everybody's moving in. They need the entire team, though, if they want to make it work. 6 seconds until Zagara is back. They got a camp. Kelthas isn't here yet, so if they don't go for core, then they should go for the keep in the middle and try and take that out. And yes, they seem to be a little bit more confident and comfortable with making that play. So, already some trolling happening here. Tyrande is being nicely asked to get over here. And that's keep number 2 that just got destroyed. The dogs, ladies and gentlemen, they're doing... I mean, honestly, they're trying. But they're just outmatched here. They're absolutely outmatched. It has already not worked well for them starting with game number 1. Now they're just looking for fights. The Maw doesn't do anything but zone out D.Va a little bit, block an escape path that she doesn't honestly need. And now the fight turns against them. Big hook against Mephisto, and he's dead. Yeah, well, the Lord of Hatred is getting a lot of hate here. They're going for him over and over again and just target the shit out of him. He doesn't stand a chance. The minion is now getting hooked too, so I'm not quite sure if it was bad-mouthing Stitches or what's going on. But there's hungry Stitches. And he is going for another kill. That's the end of Maltail. Has not gotten a single stack in this game, I might add. And with them dropping Mal'Ganis too, we all know where this is headed. They're going straight for the core and they're going to take it down. Zagara is dead. That's 21 kills to 3. 45,000 damage for Phoenix. 40,000 for Mephisto. But it's a clear victory for the Cats. A 3-0 as the blue team makes their play for the core. The dogs are out of the tournament. They're out of the playoffs. And the Cats are moving on to the next round of the losers bracket here at Meta Madness number 8 in an attempt to make it back into the grand final. Nicely done by the Cats. Really impressive performance here. Big statement at the opening match of day number 3 of the playoffs. GG and well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.